I'm Brother Steve from Hollywood, California. I've done a lot of interviews in my career. I've interviewed a lot of people. But guess what? This one is unique. I have never, ever in my 40 years of broadcasting interviewed somebody like this. Now, this one is different. Way different. It's just different. Now, when we talked about it, I'm like, but I ain't interviewed nobody like that before. What are you doing? Guess what? They told me what they was doing. I'm like, I'm gonna sign you up. Like and share this video right now. From Hollywood, California, I'm Brother Steve. Let's get into it.
From Hollywood.
Yo, DJ, are you done mixing yet?
Your DJ has only just begun.
Hello, I'm Bishop T.D. Jakes, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
Hey, it's Latoya Luckett, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
This is Rance Allen, and you're watching my friend, Brother Steve TV.
Hey, y'all, this is Leandra Johnson, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
Hi, this is Rodney Darkchild Jerkins. This is Chris Tucker. This is Kirk Franklin. And you are watching Brother Steve. And you're watching Brother Steve TV. Stick tuned.
From Hollywood, California, you're watching Brother Steve TV.
360. It's a praise jam party, yep, it's going up. Brother Steve, the Sunshine Band, that's what's up. Him and his crew, they really make the stations nervous. Brother Steve deliver hits like the postal service. Must I remind you of his credentials? Brother Steve go hard, he go large, he's monumental. That's it, it's over. A finality, call the Paul Bearer, the station's buried in Cali.
360, going hard for the Lord. It's the praise jam party. Brother Steve is in charge. For all the hot exclusives and the brand new styles, tune in every week, adjust your radio dial to the most unpredictable show on the airwaves. From the land of the stars to the home of the Braves. We go hard for the Lord. Yeah. It's how we rep the Christ, we don't apologize for it. We go hard.
It's a wonderful night here in Hollywood, California. I'm going to bring her in right now. My dear friend, been knowing her for many, many years. Tyvon, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Hey, Brother Steve. I'm good. How are you?
You are entrepreneur-esque. I just made that up. So somebody going to take that and coin it. But I just made an entrepreneur-esque, entrepreneur. You're doing great things. You're making things happen. Tyvon, the adventurous Ty.
Yes, let's go.
And that's her theme. Let's go. When you hear that word, let's go, you can say, oh no. Am I sure I want to do? I mean, people already
do it.
When they hear you, see, there you go, and antagonizing people again. Do it. Go ahead. Do it. Go. It's,
yes.
People in church today, they got so many busy schedules and so many things that they're doing with your schedule. And they don't have a chance to relax. They don't have a chance to just take a break. Most people, leaders in churches, they don't take vacations because they're always church. But right. You've created a company that takes all that out the door, and you've created this adventure series. It's not a TV show. It's an actual event. Now, if you want cameras on the trip, she can arrange that too. Have some cameras there. Right. But let's talk about adventurous time. What is adventure? And let me say this to you. She didn't just make this up Thursday at 6. No. She's been doing this for many years. She's got celebrities. We can't call their names, but there are some celebrities she can call your name out and give you a shout out. But she's been doing this for a very long time. Let's talk about adventure. What is adventurous time?
What is adventurous time? So the actual name itself, adventuress, is actually in the dictionary, and it really means a woman who seeks dangerous activity just because.
Let me get the sippy cup and the wipes ready. And get the
right. So I thought that would be a really good way to describe who I am and what I do. But basically, I started.
It's all family friendly. Let me say that first, because
yes,
that description was like, oh, okay, it ain't gonna get juicy up in here tonight. No, it's all family.
It's a different kind of heat, a completely different kind of heat. I promise you. I promise you. So Adventurous High came into play in 2019. I was ziplining as a hobby, just on my own, doing my thing, enjoying my life.
In the studio, Brother Steve is not ziplining, no hobby, nowhere, no time. Okay,
you never know. After this interview is over, you might be surprised. And so I was just ziplining for the sake of ziplining. My favorite show at the time, and still is, was The Amazing Race. And that's what really gave me the idea, or just like, seeing all these people race around the world. I'm like, oh, what is ziplining? What does that mean? And I YouTubed, or I guess you could say Googled, a couple of the word zipline here in California. And my husband asked me what I want to do for my 40th birthday. And I said, I want to go ziplining, but I don't know where a zipline is or what it is. And I found a zipline in Catalina Island, and we zipped for the first time. And when I stepped off that platform, I knew that something magical just took place, something that I had never felt before, never experienced before. And I knew that I needed more of that. So after we did that zip line, I just started finding more zip lines, and I just kept zipping. So I went to New York to zip. I went to the Grand Canyon to zip, zipped lots of zip lines here in California. And I just kept going until I met a young lady at the gym. And she said, Ty, I think I was ziplining like that weekend. She goes, what are you doing? So I'm going to zipline. She goes, wait, you doing what? And so she said, I think that you should run a post on Facebook and see if you can get people that look like us to go zipline. Wow. I said, I tell you what, I said, I'll run one post. And if nobody goes, I could care less. I will, continue on with my zipline hobby. I ran that post June of 2019. And from that point on, every adventure that we have posted has sold out. In 2021, we decided, 2020, January came, we did a zip line. February came, we did a zip line. We were only doing zip lines 2019 until the top of 2020. Pandemic comes around. I said, what are we going to do? Because now the world is shut down, and everyone is confined to their homes. Mm-hmm. And I realized, not the outside world. The outside world was booming, and people were moving and shaking. They needed something to do, and the outside world never shut down. So that's when we knew we had something. So then I told my friend, I said, look, we've sold out all these zip lines. That's all we were doing was zip line. I said, let's do some ATV riding. Let's do kayaking, paragliding. So we started adding all of these adventures in 2020 to what we were doing. And then we knew in 2020, like at the end of the year, this is a business. And so 21, I turned it into an LLC. And we have done zip lining, skydiving, paragliding, hang gliding, hot air balloon ride. I took 30 people to Canada. We did our Belize trip last year. So the adventure world is very much alive, and there are so many people that really need an outlet. They need something else to do. They need places to go. They need community that exists. And it is just unbelievable, the response that we get when we run these posts and people want to do it. Like, it sounds wild because you're like, who wants to skydive? Like, who wants to go ziplining from platform to platform and sing the line? I'm a line chaser. That's what I do. I chase cables. and I love my hard hat. I love my harnesses. I love being in those platforms on the trees. And I realize there are a lot of people that don't know that these spaces exist. And so for me, it's pleasurable and it's meaningful for me to go out and research and find the most extreme that I can possibly find. I'm not base jumping, but like the most extreme things that I can find that's within reason, I'm going to find it and I'm going to post it and I'm going to sell out because people are like, I want to do that. I love what you're doing. I love that you are a 50-year-old African-American woman out there, living your best life, and you're doing something that's a little unusual, and it's a fear factor thing. A lot of people, they just need to be built from the inside out. And so these adventures, they build a resilience inside of you. They build confidence inside of you. And so I have really honed adventure for being a metaphor for life, right? So if you can zip line, if you can hang glide, if you can paraglide, you can change the paradigm of your life. You can go back and say, if I can do this, certainly I can go back to school. Certainly I can buy a home. I don't have to live in fear of what I cannot do because I just proved to myself and to all those who just witnessed, I just bungee jumped. Like that is wild in itself, but it's something that really is a reward intrinsically that you have the capabilities of doing what you think you cannot do. But if you have the support and you have the people around you rallying you and cheering you on, you can experience some extraordinary experiences if you just give it a try.
Has there been a platform you've stepped on and you kind of, I think I've gone too far, I kind of back up? I mean, how high up in the air is that? It's not 30 feet. I know that.
So how high up in the air is which one? which event we talking about?
Tell me one of the highest ones you've done.
I mean, clearly skydiving is the highest, right?
Yeah.
So we've done our skydiving event in San Diego. It's called San Diego Skydive. And we've done it 3 years. 2 years in a row, we did San Diego Skydive. And then just last year we did Elsinore Skydive. And then my husband and I did a different skydive in San Diego. But the skydives are about 14,000 feet up. Yeah.
How long does it take you to get to the ground?
So from the time the plane takes off and it hits its peak at the 14,000 foot mark, and then you kind of ease your way out of the plane with tandem, of course, with your pilot from the jump to the landing, it's probably about 4 or 5 minutes. So it's not that long. The free fall itself, like once you tumble out of the plane, is just a few seconds. And then once you tumble and you kind of fly for literally less than a minute, then they release the parachute and then you just sort of like kind of glide down. But the whole experience from beginning to end is probably somewhere between 5 to 8 minutes.
From the plane taking off to your feet getting back on the ground, it's about 8 minutes.
No, from the plane taking off to you landing, I would say about 10, because the plane is only going to be up there by the time from the takeoff to the time. So you getting 14,000 feet is just maybe about, I would say the whole thing is 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
If I keep
it's about 10 minutes to get to the top. From the ground up for the planes, about 10 minutes, and then the drop itself. So
if I keep talking, ladies and gentlemen, that thing gonna go to 25. Next thing you know, it's about 45-minute trip.
I would say 10 to 15 from the you getting on the flight and then taking up and then jumping out and then parachuting safely down.
If I was on that plane with you, Ty, and your husband, it's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour because Brother Steve is not coming. No. I'll take the credit. I'm not. No, I just look down. The door open. No.
And that's okay because we actually have some people that will just come out to support their loved ones.
Really?
And yeah, and they can actually. There's a waiting area on the landing that you can just wait and you can just kind of watch the whole spectacle in front of you. And high five once they, come out, and it's an exhilarating rush, and it's really hard to explain.
What goes through your brain? I mean, the goggles are on, the wind, you're feeling the speed, and then you're just going down. Does that, like the first time you've done it? I shouldn't say that on my show, but no, I will. Forget it. I don't care. It's my show. I mean, do you say, I think I need to go to the restroom, or do you what's going through your brain in
So
seconds?
the very first time I did it, it was for my 44th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband and I it wasn't really planned out. It was kind of like, I think we were like, what are we going to do tomorrow? I said, I don't know. I said, let's go skydiving, just kind of like in the wind. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, what? So we called, we booked it. Because it's the unknown and you don't really know what to expect, the feelings of like, I'm getting ready I willingly choose to jump out of this aircraft. You can't really think about it too hard or too long, because then it won't make sense, right? I mean, I know that I wanted to feel what that felt like, and my husband did too. And you can't really process, you can't really have a conversation, because you'll talk yourself out of it the way you talked yourself into it. Wow. And so you just sign up and you drive to the location and you just do it. And you're there to just experience something that's so unusual, but yet it just has a reward to it that compares to nothing else. And again, I did it the first time. I loved it. The feeling of free flight, there's a freedom to that. But I'm going to tell you, Brother Steve, the beauty of like skydiving or ziplining is to be able to see a level of God that you've never seen before. You have a complete 360-degree view of his creation. I mean, you're literally up there with the birds, but you see it all and you're taking it all in. And it's absolutely a spectacle that you can't eat. You can never experience that on the ground. Binoculars can't do it. Movies can't do it. YouTube can't do it. Instagram can't do it. It's something that you have to just participate in so that you can have your own testimony about what it was like to jump out of a good airplane with a professional pilot, someone who is trained, an instructor that you sort of instantly just trust. You don't even know who this person is, but it's a faith walk. The whole thing it's a complete faith. Whether if you adhere to that word or not, it is a faith walk to be able to do that.
I'm gonna tell you again, like I just said, you get Brother Steve up in that plane. We may have to start broadcasting live. Like, nah, I think I'll see y'all on the ground.
Right.
And for those birds, they're like, what you doing up here? Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm just trying to make my way down. I'm passing, going down. We're going to show a video in just a few seconds, and we're going to talk about New Zealand. But let me ask you, are there any, maybe, I know you've worked with several celebrities, any that you can mention that has been on some of your great adventures and experienced the Adventurous Tide experience?
Yes, one who I absolutely love, and she's just fantastic. That would be Miss Erica Campbell. Her and some of her family members attended our treehouse excursion. So there is a treehouse company in Sonoma, and there's about 6 tree houses. But in order to get to the tree houses, there's 14 zip lines. So there's 7 zip lines in, and then there's 7 zip lines out. But the beauty about this particular adventure is once you zip in, the tree houses are absolutely stunning. They're not, a childlike tree house. They're built very well. They are very accommodating. And along with that experience, they have a 5-star dinner that they serve you in your treehouse after you've done all the zip lining. They have treats before. As soon as you zip into the tree houses, they have like a kind of like a charcuterie board, and with all of these wonderful healthy treats. And then at night they serve you 5-star dinner in your treehouse. You sleep in the treehouse, and then the next morning they serve you breakfast, and it's a beautiful breakfast that they actually cook right there on the premises. And then we zip out. So it's an overnight experience. It's called Sonoma Adventures, and it's out in Sonoma County. And I've taken at least 6 groups of people there. We have sold out every time we book that treehouse experience. It's absolutely stunning. We're right in the middle of the redwood forest. So there's nothing like a praise and worship in the forest.
Wow.
And so I had been trying to get Erica for a while to come on some of our adventures. And finally she had the time because she's such a busy artist. And she decided, this sounds like something I can do, Ty. Let's go. And so she really had a great time. And she, was like, Ty, this is pretty top notch, girl. And so it was a blessing, and it was an honor to have her as one of our special guests to join us into doing this amazing treehouse. And so, do
they zip tie your luggage there to stay overnight, or you just have?
No, so you bring a small duffel bag or a small bag because it's just an overnight experience, and then they take your all of your belongings up to the treehouse while you're zipping. So they have a truck that takes all your stuff up there, and each treehouse has a name. So we're given these different names, and so they will place your bags and stuff according to the name of the treehouse that you're staying in. But it's very well organized, and it's just a beautiful experience.
I got to check out this treehouse experience. Here's a video. If you don't believe her and you don't believe me, you're going to see the video for real. And then we're going to come back and talk about New Zealand. It's a short video presentation. Here we go. Saw yourself up close and personal. You've got a major trip, not just here in California, but you're going out of the country. Let's talk about this new trip you got coming up. And it's for executives, not just church people, for executives, leaders, pastors, business people who may want to just kind of get away for a bit and just kind of learn. Let's talk about this New Zealand experience coming up.
So it's for whoever will. We don't have any limitations to who wants to come. Anybody who wants to come is welcome to come. So New Zealand actually is the adventure capital of the world.
Whoa.
And I have been, I've had my eye on a particular excursion that they have there, and it's pretty wild. And I've been watching the videos and just kind of like glued to this particular excursion for a couple of years. And I decided, you know what? It's either now or never.
Wow.
So when I build my adventure packages, it's always going to be around something extreme. And so this is probably the most extreme excursion that we have in our package. Again, it's one day. But the trip is actually 7 days, right? So we'll physically be there 7 days and then 2 days for travel. But we'll physically be there so I guess 9 total. But the excursion that has attracted me to New Zealand is called a catapult. And if you know what a catapult is, well, let's just assume that you don't. So it's you're basically being suspended at a 90-degree angle. And it's almost like it's like a bungee or kind of like a bow and arrow. And you are, once they hit the little button, you basically go about 100 miles an hour across the canyon. And it's about a 1,200 foot drop. And once they hit the button, your body is going about 3 Gs of force across. And so some people may ask, why in the world would you want to do that? Then my question to you would be, why in the world would you not want to do that?
Right.
Again, I have a love and a passion for adventure. I'm high energy, and I really like the way, the rush, the thrill, the experience, I love how all that feels, the butterflies, the anxiety, like all of that, it just works for me. So we're going to New Zealand in 2026, and all are welcome. But again, I also am very considerate of my audience. So I also make sure that the adventures that we do are balanced. So it's not all extreme and high, but we have some other adventures that we're doing with New Zealand. We're doing like a clay bird shooting. We're doing a jet boat ride. We're also doing like a lunch on an old type of boat. Just it's like a for history, like they'll kind of talk about the history of New Zealand and things that took place many, many years ago. But it's like a really, really nice barbecue sort of lunch. We're also doing like these little Rickard cars, kind of like a little speed racing cars. Of course, we're zip lining. We're doing a garden walk for those who want to walk the gardens. So there's some, there's balance for everybody. There's going to be some shopping. We're staying in a beautiful hotel that oversees a lake. And so Queenstown, New Zealand is where we're going. And it's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful location. And they just have some really great adventures and some really great excursions and things to do. But it's New Zealand, right? So it's stunning. So yeah, why not go to New Zealand? Absolutely. Come on. All the pastors, the bishops, the ushers, the whoever, the children's directory. If you want to come on.
So your company, basically, one of your niches is helping believers, church people, pastors, and leaders kind of get it out, take a break, get some adventure in your life, and they help you kind of refresh yourself. So when you come back, you're ready to minister. Yes.
I mean, I think, no matter what your profession is, but since we're talking about church folks, let's just stick with this genre of this group of people. I think it's important, especially church people. I was raised in church my entire life. I come from a Pentecostal background. And I knew nothing about what I'm doing now. I was not raised, outdoors, camping. I didn't have these experiences until I turned 40. And I think that it's really important that, we preach about Jesus and we talk about, the world that he's created, the creation, the stars, the moon, the trees. We talk about, him and the splendor and the glory and the mountains and the colors and all of these things, but yet we never participate in it. We don't go out and actually walk the grounds of to the mountains and, experience his presence in his creation. We don't do that. We look at movies, we talk to our friends, we like things on Facebook and on Instagram, but actually going and standing on these platforms, especially when we zip line, there's nothing like it, because you're standing on these platforms and it is transformation. It's transformative. There's a transformation that takes place. There's liberty that takes place. There's the grandeur and the beauty of God that you see in a way that you can't see it, just in the city, doing your mundane Monday through Friday, you can't see it that way. And so I think like when you're able to appreciate the scriptures, when you are in his creation, it's just different. It's just a different experience. And I think even when you pray and you're praying, and everything is shut down, right? You don't hear anything. You don't hear the chaos of everyday life. You don't hear, your coworkers talking to you, or, when you're in church and you've got meetings and you have this and you're that, you're just in a place of solitude. It's quiet. It's beautiful. You can actually hear your thoughts. It's surreal. It's serene. And it's just different, but it's beautiful. Wow. It's beautiful.
We're going to allow you to give out your name again, your email. They want to reach out to you. They want to go make that New Zealand trip.
Yes, come to New Zealand. It's going to be awesome.
New Zealand. If you want to get to New Zealand, there's some information about it. Come and get more details about it from Ty herself. And she'll tell you what to do, how to do, what not to do, the whole 9 yards. So you can come to the New Zealand trip. Get more details and information. What do you want to say in closing? Where can they reach you? Where can they call you? And that whole 9 yards. Or you want, or social media, probably be great because I know your schedule is very hectic. So where can we reach out to you on social media to kind of be a part of this and learn more information? Maybe a pastor may want his whole ministry team to come on adventures.
Come on. Yeah. No, you can find us on Facebook, Adventurous Ty. Instagram, Adventurous Ty. You can, our email is, Brother Steve has it at the bottom of this, of the video. So it's info@adventurousty.com. If you, let me see what else. I think that's it. Yeah. If you're interested, I do have a full itinerary that we can send to you so that you can see exactly what's happening day by day. Mm-hmm. So the entire trip is planned. And there's no surprises, but it's all structured. It's all scheduled of what we're going to be doing every day. So if you're interested, please let me know. I would love to send you some information.
The next trip is New Zealand, right?
The next away trip is New Zealand, but our next local excursion is we're going to be paramotoring in Temecula. So we're going on a paramotor, which is like a combination of paragliding and hang gliding, except for it has a motor to it. And then it takes off and you just kind of like flying in the air on a motor. Yeah.
You can control. You can be like, next thing you know, we're para-trucking. What are you doing? We're jumping off a truck. So no, I'm not jumping off a truck, a bus, or anything. Ty Vaughn, Adventures in Ty. She's making things happen. She's doing great things. You can reach out to her with the information at the bottom of the screen. Contact her, reach out to her. Share this video on YouTube as of today. We're celebrating 2.2 million views on our YouTube channel. So go to our YouTube channel, like this video, share it, join, subscribe, get more details, information. Ty, any shout outs to anybody in our last 30 seconds on the air?
A shout out to, of course, Erica Campbell. A shout out to every adventurer who's ever adventured with us. I love all of you guys. The adventure family is growing. It's contagious. Adventure is contagious. So come on and be bit by the adventure bug. It's awesome.
Ty, stay right there. Don't leave us. From Hollywood, California, Brother Steve, it's time to take an adventure. Do what you got to do. Get the energy out and then take a nap and go to sleep when you're tired. From Hollywood, California, Brother Steve. We'll see you soon. God bless you.
We go hard. That's how we rep the price. We don't apologize for. And I'm over there, producer. We can take your record.